Women still hold up this infrastructure, though.
No, they don't.
80% of teachers are women. 40% of doctors are women. Women are literally holding up the healthcare infrastructure. 80% of healthcare workers are women.
And that's a problem. We need to put them back
How
in the
is that a
kitchen
problem?
so they can give us some healthcare or good sandwiches.
Women contribute to society. It was a woman that discovered the DNA double helix.
Okay,
Rosalind Franklin.
can someone fact check that reason?
A woman that discovered it. It was a woman that discovered radium. It's a woman that invented laser eye surgery.
Every time I go on a campus, it never fails. Like some black chick comes up and says women invented XYZ and it never happened. It's actually James Watson and Francis Crick that invented it.
She's the one who created the X-ray images and they stole her work. And it is proven.
There's a man
you can
here,
look for it.
as usual.
They received the credit for it.
All right. Hi.
Hello. You said that women deserve less, but there are countries where women already have less. So wouldn't it make more sense to live in an area that has, in the countries that support the ideals that you have towards women? Like in Iran and Iraq, women aren't allowed to go to school. They get married early. They have their babies early. Like, why wouldn't you choose to live somewhere like Iraq and Iran?
Women can go to school in Iran, and they actually are.
Yeah, but it's limited.
They can definitely go to school, and they're actually quite well represented in the job force there. But so you're asking me, why should women deserve less in foreign countries? Why wouldn't you
prefer to live in a more traditionalist society in those types of countries that support your ideals?
Because when women are in charge, everything gets fucked up.
Women aren't in charge in those countries, though.
No, I'm talking about here in the U.S.
Women aren't in charge in the U.S.
They
either.
absolutely are. We live in a gynocentric social order.
I don't agree with that. And you said that you're against feminism, but all feminism did was give women the right to own property, bodily autonomy, and gave them more less discrimination in the workforce and access to education without being discriminated against. What's wrong with
but
that?
Here's the thing: feminism started out as equality, but now it's quickly morphed into superiority. That's what it is now. It's not. The equality thing was done decades ago.
Are you talking about like Western modern feminism, or are you talking about feminism in general?
Well, I'm talking about Western feminism. Now it's about superiority. It's no longer about equality.
It is about equality.
Okay, if you say so.
How is women having access to bodily autonomy superiority?
Sure. Because let's say you were to get pregnant by a guy. He wanted to keep the baby. You want to kill the baby. He has no reproductive rights in that say whatsoever.
But in states like Texas, the man can sue the woman if she aborts the fetus. He can sue her.
But the point
and put her in prison and report it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The reality is that men have no reproductive rights versus women do. And then it could also go on the flip side. She decides to have the kid. He said don't have the kid. Now he's on the hook for child support. So that's what I'm trying to say.
He can give up his parental rights.
What was that?
The man could give up his parental rights so he doesn't have to pay child support.
Not really. She
Legally,
she can absolutely still put him on the hook and have him pay what he's owed. And some states have like really, like Texas, for example, has very aggressive laws where if you're a deadbeat dad, like they will put you in jail. They will.
And also you said that women should prioritize career over having, women should prioritize childbearing over having career, but women
having a family,
they contribute $7 to $10 trillion to the U.S. GDP, and countries that have higher gender equality, like the United States and the West in general, they have higher GDPs than other countries that deprioritize gender equality, like Yemen, like Iraq, like Syria, that have lower rates of gender equality. They have lower GDPs.
Yeah, well, women also
and higher rates of poverty.
Yeah, and they also control 3/4 of the debt. They're the majority of the consumers. Women complain all the time about, we couldn't have credit cards until the 70s. Well, that was because women couldn't incur debt, so men had to incur the debt. And if she did get credit, she'd have to go through her husband. So because the man was responsible for the household and the finances, so he had the authority, but he had the responsibility, but he also had the authority. So that's why
a woman have to have her father or her husband have autonomy and control over her finances. If a woman's in debt, she's on.
I think the data shows most women are in crazy debt and are the majority of the consumers and control most of the debt in America. A lot of them are financially retarded.
Also, you said that women are intellectually inferior. If that's the case, how come women are pursuing the majority of higher learning?
Okay. Most men are geniuses. And then as far as higher learning goes, the standard education system that we have prioritizes being a slave, sitting still, folding your hands, listening to someone, following directions. These are all things that women, are better at men at, because women are followers, and they tend to be more compliant. They tend to be more agreeable than men. So the education system that we have is catered towards little girls succeeding versus little boys.
So wouldn't it make more sense to change the structure of a classroom so men can thrive instead of saying that women are intellectually inferior?
Well, they're trying to do that, but again, men are responsible for most of the infrastructure and inventions built all across the world, despite the fact that women have overrepresentation in universities. Men still, produce most of the infrastructure.
And also with the infrastructure, you said that the majority of jobs that women have aren't as important to the economy, but 80% of healthcare workers in the United States are women. 40% of doctors are women. Like 70% of practitioners, healthcare practitioners are women. 88% of nurses that keep people alive are women. And there's men in the hospitals that are nurses too, and they're working hard and keeping people alive. So to just write off an entire gender as being not as important, don't you think there's a bias in that?
Well, men are better than women at almost everything, and we're supposed to be leaders. So, I don't make the rules. I just report them.
And also,
feminism has been a colossal failure. Cool, we got female representation in the workplace, but what have we paid as the cost for that? We have destroyed families. The nuclear family's pretty much gone. The backbone of the United States is gone. We have more whores. We have less marriages.
The reason that there's more divorce is because women have the ability to have a divorce. Back in the 50s, women weren't allowed to leave a relationship or a marriage.
Yeah, and that's a problem. So now women are incentivized. Women are incentivized to divorce now.
Be in a marriage a problem. The
birth control, no-fault divorce, all of these different things have contributed greatly to the declination of the nuclear family.
For the no-fault divorce, it's pretty much saying that you can't use cheating or whatever as a reason to declare a divorce. So a man or a woman could use no-fault divorce as well. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, but that's the majority of divorces, almost 80% are initiated by women.
And
it's not men breaking up with women or initiating the divorces. It's the women that do it.
For the Institute of Family Studies, they found out that infidelity on the man's part is the highest reason for women initiating divorce. So what's wrong with that?
It's really money and
economic issues.
It's really money. And here's the other thing too.
Lack of labor.
Hot take. I think men should be able to cheat. Yeah.
So why?
Let me rephrase. It's not even about cheating. I think men should be able to have multiple partners if they so choose. Okay. And the reason for that is because men have to earn their merits. Men have to earn the ability to have those kind of women.
And women earn their merit as well. Do you think
no,
it's
they don't earn anything.
To sit in college for 4 years and then go to college again for another 4 years?
Okay,
to
your education and your background makes no difference in your sexual market value. If you go out on a date with a dude, he's not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, what's your degree? Oh, you graduated? Awesome. My dick is hard." That's never happens. Men don't give a fuck about a woman's education or capacity to earn income.
Actually, you also said that men need to be more present fathers. It's actually my father that encouraged me to pursue a higher education. It said that would make me more desirable if I ever took.
Your dad told you getting education would make you more desirable?
Yes, he did.
Oh man, he was lying to you, man.
He wasn't.
He was lying to you.
One last thing, Myron, you're saying that
education does not make women more attractive at all. That's a big feminist lie.
Men need to get money and get ripped and then they'll get a woman. How come you aren't married if you have this humongous platform and you have all this money? How come you can't maintain a stable and healthy monogamous relationship or even a polyamorous relationship? How come everyone you date ends up leaving you?
Okay, let me ask you this question. Are you fucking guys?
No.
You're not? Why not?
Because I don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it? Would it be fair to say that you're picky and you're selective on who you have sex with?
Isn't everyone selective?
Well,
it's a personal preference.
No, that's fine. So it's your personal preference who you have sex with, right?
Sure.
Okay. Wouldn't it be fair to say that women are the gatekeepers to sex?
No. Because someone can physically overpower you and have sex anyways.
Okay. I mean, outside of the exception, which is rape, I'm talking about in a consensual encounter, women control access to sex.
What if a woman desires a man more? Wouldn't that man be the gatekeeper then? It depends on the dynamic. You're saying in general terms.
In most situations, who is the gatekeeper to sex?
Depends on the most desirable person in the dynamic.
Okay. Since you refuse to answer, that's fine. In general, women are the gatekeepers to sex, okay? Guys are trying to smash. Women are trying to, get some type of commitment and resources. So we have different opposing things. So that's why I asked you, hey, are you fucking people right now? You said no. And I said, why? Because you're selective. Fantastic. Just like you're selective with who you have sex with, I am selective on who I engage with and have a relationship with. because I give commitment as a man, you give sexual access as a woman. So for you to try to shame me for not being married is like me trying to shame you for not having sex. It's literally asinine because you control access to sex.
Women
so therefore,
can't gatekeep commitment either. They can't choose to not be in a relationship.
What was that?
You're saying that women can't gatekeep commitment either?
No, they can't because men are the ones that give out the rings, and you take our last names for a reason.
One last thing, Myron. You said something about how we need to live in a society.
And I want to make this clear for everybody here, because hold on real quick, because I want to make this clear for all the guys here. See, this is a typical tactic that women employ. Well, they'll be like, oh, well, where's your wife or whatever? Our metric of success isn't getting married. Our metric of success is having a bunch of money, being successful, and lots of women wanting to marry us. Us having options is our success. Your success is locking down the best guy that you can. You guys gatekeep sex, we gatekeep relationships. So for you to sit there and be like, oh, well, where's your wife? That's a false equivalency. It's not analogous whatsoever. What was that?
My success is educational attainment.
And that is why you're brainwashed. You're brainwashed by the Beyonce. You're brainwashed by the propaganda that tells you that your career matters and your education matters and your income. It doesn't matter at all.
Well, there are places like Turkey, like Tunisia, that prioritize your ideals. I just feel like if equality is so bad, why don't you live in places that are more traditionalist? That's my last question.
Again, I'm just calling it like it is. I'm just reporting how women are now and sexual interdynamics and awareing the guys on this topic. So, and again, like someone like you who prioritizes, this is exactly what I'm here to do, to combat this right here, this very pernicious feminist lifestyle where it's like, my education, my career comes first, and that's fine. But when you're done with school and you're done, pursuing your career,
with equality,
you're not going to have the same level of options.
Because you're saying that women deserve less. Women get paid 81 cents on a dollar, so women are already getting less. What's the problem?
Interesting. So
the majority of people in the government are men.
Okay.
The senators are men. This is a male-dominated society.
Thank
it was
God
created by men, but it's already male-dominated. So what are you arguing?
Let me ask you a question. So are you saying that the wage gap exists between men and women?
Yes, it does exist. It's been, studied by economic forums all over the place.
Okay, so the wage gap is a myth, and I'll explain why. What you're referring to, the 80 cents on every dollar that feminists typically try to use to just say that there's a wage gap or disparity between how much women are being paid versus men, that comes from a study of all working men versus all working women. And the problem with that is you're not comparing apples to apples, you're comparing apples to oranges, because this study didn't account for hours worked, types of careers, danger of career, experience, the lack of female, the fact that women are more agreeable, they're less likely to argue for higher wages, education, all these, overtime, taking vacation, all of these different factors heavily contribute into how much money you make. Now, if you actually equalize everything and compare apples to apples, they did this at Google, you find that women actually earn more than men. So the real reason why women earn less than men is because you guys deserve less than men. You guys are lazier. You guys tend to take more vacation time. You guys don't go into job fields that are more dangerous, that pay higher. Women don't like doing laborious jobs. They want to sit in an air-conditioned room somewhere a lot of the times. So the reason why women earn less is because they deserve less in most instances.
So by that logic, would men not deserve to have access to higher education because they're just not as smart? They won't sit down. They won't respond well to teachers. They don't work well with the curriculums promoted in K through 12 education. They're not scoring as high on these SAT and standardized scores. Wouldn't that technically mean they have less merit to pursue higher education? If we were to use that same logic and that they should just pursue the trades like the majority of the men in Gen Z are already doing?
So you're actually strengthening my argument. Why is it that women earn less, right, allegedly to you, even though they're overrepresented in college university attendance, they're overrepresented in graduating, and they're overrepresented in academia in general? The reason why is because with female choice, women just choose to go and do jobs that tend to not pay as much. Women don't like to work as many hours. They don't like to work laborious jobs. Men are far more likely to take on jobs that are dangerous, blue-collar work. They're more willing to go ahead and go to a trade school maybe to earn an income. Women are far less likely to do that. So there's a multitude of different factors why women earn less, and it's all, completely plausible and explainable.
But women still hold up this infrastructure, though.
No, they don't.
80% of teachers are women.
Okay.
88% of nurses are women. 40% of doctors are women. Women are literally holding up the healthcare infrastructure. 80% of healthcare workers are women. And what's wrong with that?
And that's a problem. We need to put them back in the kitchen.
How's that a problem?
So they can, give us some healthcare or good sandwiches.
Women contribute to society. It was a woman that discovered the DNA double helix.
What was that you said?
Woman
discovered what?
It It was a woman that discovered the DNA double helix. She's the first one.
Okay,
Rosalind Franklin.
can someone fact check that? Because, for some odd reason,
Watson and
is true?
Clark,
No,
they purported
because
her results.
this is like the fifth time
but
now.
She's the one that discovered it. It's proven.
Okay.
She just
Because
wasn't credited for it. They are the ones who received the Nobel Peace Prize.
For some odd reason.
It was a woman that discovered it. It was a woman that discovered radium. It's a woman that invented laser eye surgery. And Watson and Clark were working with Rosalind Franklin. So, yes, she did help discover the DNA double helix.
Every time, bro. Every time. Yeah, so every time I go on a campus, it never fails. Like some black chick comes up and says, women invented XYZ, and it never happened. So it's actually James Watson and Francis Crick that invented it.
She's the one who created the X-ray images, and they stole her work. And it
but
is proven.
There's a man
you can
here,
look for it.
as usual.
They received the credit for it, but she
It's like
invented
every time
it.
I go on a campus, like
And
some
anyone
chick,
in the biology class
a woman
would have
invented
learned
something
that.
and they didn't.
A woman invented laser eye surgery, and that
I
is
looked
a
that up
fact.
too, laser eye
Mary
surgery.
Curie.
So you're wrong on
also
that one, then we'll
received
find the next one.
A Nobel
It's like a
Peace
theme,
Prize
dude.
for
Every single
discovering
time.
radium. What did you discover?
Misogyny.
Misogyny? Oh wait, that already existed.
Well, massage is actually good, but yeah, actually, it's a man again. Golam Payman invented LASIK. Dude, it's hilarious. Every time I go on a college campus, it's always some black chick comes up and says, "We invented this," and I'm like, "No, you didn't actually, Shaniqua."
Well, your logic doesn't work in real life. Have a nice day, though, Myron. Seek God.
Well, I knew that she was going to chimp out at some point. It's just a matter of time.